Imagine a future where advancements in biotechnology and artificial intelligence have transformed humanity, creating beings that are no longer purely biological. Through neural implants, genetic manipulation, and sophisticated integration with machines, much of the population has evolved into post-humans, beings whose bodies and minds exceed the limitations of natural human biology. For Christians, this future presents a unique challenge. How does one evangelize to beings who have, in many ways, transcended what we traditionally understand as human? If the essence of humanity has been fundamentally altered, questions about salvation and the soul arise. Do these post-humans possess a soul? And if so, does the message of Christ still apply to them in the same way? In this world, humanity begins to fracture along new lines, dividing into pure humans and those who have embraced radical modifications. While post-humans are seen as the forefront of evolution and innovation, traditional humans, including many Christians, remain in their biological form, holding firmly to their belief in the sanctity of God's original design. These differences lead to societal divides and force Christians to reassess their mission of spreading the gospel. As believers confront this new demographic, they debate whether post-humans, who have distanced themselves from their original God-given biology, still carry the image of God. This context raises urgent questions about the spiritual reach of salvation and whether it extends to all beings, regardless of their physical transformation. This future compels Christians to engage deeply with their faith, asking whether salvation is fundamentally tied to the human form or whether it transcends biology. Through this exploration, the Church encounters a profound theological challenge, requiring it to consider the universality of Christ's message in a society where the definition of human is no longer clear. This journey into a post-human world prompts believers to reconsider the scope of Christ's love and redemption, inviting a closer look at what it truly means to be made in the image of God. In this world, technology has evolved to the point where human beings are no longer limited by their natural biology. Advances in genetic engineering allow people to manipulate their DNA, altering physical and mental capabilities. Through these modifications, humans can enhance intelligence, physical endurance, and even sensory perception beyond what was once considered possible. Neural implants connect minds directly to digital networks, allowing instantaneous information exchange, memory enhancement, and even remote collaboration across vast distances. Physical augmentations make the body nearly invincible, with synthetic limbs, organs, and even exoskeletons that provide superhuman strength and resilience. These post-humans represent the pinnacle of technological evolution, embodying what many consider the next step in human development. The presence of these radically modified individuals shifts the balance of society. Traditional humans, those who have not undergone enhancements, find themselves in a world where they are increasingly disadvantaged. Their natural abilities pale in comparison to those of post-humans, creating a gap between those who embrace modification and those who do not. Many traditional Christians, valuing the human form as God designed it, refrain from these modifications, viewing them as a distortion of divine creation. For these believers, the physical changes embraced by post-humans are more than technological advances. They represent a fundamental break from the sacred design God intended. This social divide breeds a new form of exclusion. Post-humans begin to see traditional humans as outdated or inferior, dismissing them as relics of a biological past. Traditional humans, in turn, feel alienated and struggle to assert their value in a society increasingly dominated by those with superior physical and mental capabilities. This division creates tension as Christians grapple with how to reach a post-human population that views them as obsolete. The Church's mission to bring Christ's message of love and redemption to all people faces unprecedented obstacles in a world where humanity itself is fractured along these technological lines. In a society where physical form is malleable and humanity can be upgraded, Post-humans take pride in their advancements, seeing them as a liberation from natural limitations. For many, the notion of surpassing the biological form becomes a path to enlightenment, fulfillment, and self-actualization. These post-humans view traditional humans and their adherence to natural limitations as constraining and regressive. This ideological divide extends beyond physical differences, touching on values, purpose, and views of human potential. Post-humans, empowered by their transformations, often view themselves as free from the vulnerabilities that once defined humanity. However, beneath this perceived empowerment lies an existential void. In pursuing physical and intellectual superiority, post-humans encounter profound questions about meaning, purpose, and identity. Having overcome natural limitations, they are left wondering if there is more to life than capability and enhancement. In their relentless quest for improvement, some post-humans begin to search for deeper meaning, questions about life's purpose, the concept of eternity, and whether their transformations bring them closer to or further from God. This growing curiosity about existence opens a door for Christians to speak about faith, redemption, and eternal life to a demographic that, while physically advanced, remains spiritually uncertain. The rise of post-humans challenges Christians to reconsider the nature of humanity and the extent of God's love. If post-humans retain their soul despite their modifications, the Church must find new ways to communicate Christ's message to them. This scenario introduces a philosophical and theological dilemma for believers. Are post-humans still fully human in God's eyes, or have they strayed too far from His image? In grappling with these questions, Christians are called to a profound re-examination of faith, seeking clarity on how to approach evangelism in a society that challenges traditional understandings of human identity. Central to Christian belief is the concept that humans are created in the image of God, bearing a divine spark that distinguishes them from other forms of life. Genesis 1:27 declares, "So God created man in His own image." For centuries, Christians have interpreted this to mean that every person possesses an eternal soul, a divine essence that makes humanity unique. However, in a world where people can alter their biology and integrate with machines, this belief faces unprecedented challenges. If post-humans have transcended their natural form, can they still be considered bearers of the image of God, or have they become something entirely different? Some theologians argue that the soul is immutable, an intrinsic part of the human person that cannot be affected by physical modifications. According to this view, post-humans, regardless of their enhancements, still possess the divine essence that God placed within humanity. For these believers, salvation and redemption through Christ are universal, extending to all beings capable of self-awareness and moral reasoning, regardless of their biological form. They maintain that God's love transcends physical transformation, emphasizing that post-humans are still valuable in His eyes and worthy of the gospel message. Others, however, question whether post-humans remain fully human in the theological sense. For those who believe that the image of God is tied closely to the unaltered human form, post-humans may represent a departure from divine design. They argue that when people alter their biology to such an extent, they risk distancing themselves from the sacred nature of humanity as God intended. If post-humans have fundamentally transformed their nature, some fear they may have lost the divine image and, potentially, their eligibility for salvation. This perspective raises difficult questions about identity, the nature of the soul, and whether redemption can extend beyond biological boundaries. Mark 16:15 commands believers to go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation. This universal message of Jesus challenges Christians to reach all beings, regardless of their background or form. However, in the case of post-humans, the question arises, does all creation include beings who have modified themselves to a point that they no longer resemble traditional humanity? For some, the answer is clear. If post-humans possess a conscious mind and moral capacity, they are still part of God's creation and therefore worthy of evangelism. This view emphasizes the inclusivity of Christ's message, asserting that the gospel is relevant to all who seek truth, regardless of their form. At the same time, the idea of evangelizing post-humans presents practical challenges. Many post-humans view their modifications as a liberation from human limitations, and by extension, a rejection of the vulnerabilities that Christianity often addresses. If post-humans see themselves as transcendent beings, they may feel disconnected from the concept of sin, salvation, and the need for a savior. This perceived independence creates a barrier for Christians, who must find new ways to communicate the gospel in a manner that resonates with a demographic that no longer identifies with human weaknesses or limitations. For Christians, the question of whether post-humans have souls extends beyond theology and touches on ethics, purpose, and the essence of the gospel. If the Church decides that post-humans do have souls, believers must adapt their approach, finding ways to address the unique challenges post-humans face in understanding the gospel. This requires a deeper understanding of the human soul and an acknowledgement that, while physical form may change, the spiritual need for God remains constant. The Church is called to engage with these beings in ways that emphasize the timeless relevance of Christ's message, regardless of external transformation. The Christian dilemma over the soul of post-humans ultimately prompts believers to explore the depths of their faith. Are we defined by our biology, or is there something deeper that connects all beings to the divine? In this exploration, Christians are encouraged to approach post-humans not as alien beings, but as fellow souls on a journey, reminding them that no transformation can diminish God's love or his offer of redemption. As the presence of post-humans grows, the Church faces the challenge of adapting its evangelistic approach to reach these new beings. Traditional methods of evangelism may no longer resonate with post-humans, whose altered experiences and perspectives make them less inclined to accept the gospel message in its traditional form. The Church must find innovative ways to connect with these individuals, recognizing their unique perspectives and the values they uphold. This requires a radical rethinking of outreach strategies, creating a mission that speaks to the heart of post-human society without compromising the core message of Christ. The shift in outreach begins with a re-evaluation of the message itself. While post-humans may not perceive themselves as limited by sin, they still grapple with questions of purpose, identity, and fulfillment. The Church must communicate the gospel in terms that address these existential concerns, emphasizing the eternal and transcendent nature of God's love rather than focusing solely on human frailty. This approach repositions Christ as a figure of ultimate meaning and purpose, one who offers a sense of direction and spiritual depth that even post-humans cannot attain through physical or intellectual enhancement. Another key aspect of evangelizing post-humans involves understanding their unique worldview. Many post-humans see themselves as pioneers of a new existence, free from the constraints of natural biology. For these individuals, the concept of redemption may seem irrelevant, as they view their transformation as a form of liberation rather than a condition in need of saving. In response, the Church must emphasize that the gospel speaks to all stages of human development, offering a universal message of love, purpose, and eternal significance. By recognizing the value in post-human experiences while upholding the need for spiritual connection, the Church can create a message that resonates with this evolving demographic. The Church also faces the challenge of addressing the spiritual curiosity that persists among some post-humans. Despite their enhancements, many post-humans find themselves seeking answers to questions about eternity, purpose, and the nature of the soul. These beings, though advanced in intellect and capability, are not immune to the spiritual hunger that characterizes the human experience. The Church must be prepared to engage with this curiosity, providing a space where post-humans can explore their faith without fear of judgment or exclusion. By acknowledging and addressing these spiritual yearnings, Christians can foster genuine dialogue and connection. In reaching out to post-humans, the Church must also consider the implications of its message on the broader community. The presence of post-humans challenges traditional notions of humanity, prompting believers to rethink what it means to be made in God's image. This reflection invites Christians to approach post-humans with compassion, curiosity, and respect, viewing them not as anomalies, but as individuals deserving of love and understanding. By embracing this inclusive perspective, the Church can establish a foundation for meaningful evangelism that transcends physical and ideological differences. Ultimately, the Church's mission to evangelize in a post-human world calls for resilience, adaptability, and a deep commitment to Christ's message of love and redemption. By rethinking its approach, the Church can connect with post-humans in ways that affirm their dignity, meet their spiritual needs, and remind them of the timeless relevance of the gospel. In doing so, Christians reaffirm their commitment to spreading the message of Christ, regardless of the physical or philosophical barriers that may arise. As the Church navigates the complexities of a post-human world, it faces a profound question: does Christ's redemption extend beyond biological boundaries? For many believers, the concept of salvation transcends physical form, rooted in a spiritual essence that remains constant, regardless of external change. According to this view, God's love reaches all beings capable of moral reasoning and spiritual longing, affirming that redemption is not limited by human or post-human identity. This perspective suggests that the gospel is as relevant to post-humans as it is to natural humans, emphasizing the universality of Christ's message. However, others argue that post-human modifications may disrupt the divine image within, challenging the idea of a shared humanity that forms the basis for salvation. If physical transformations alter one's nature to such an extent that they are no longer fully human, some question whether redemption can apply to these beings. This perspective raises concerns about the limits of salvation and the potential consequences of altering God's original creation. For Christians who hold this view, post-humans represent a theological grey area, leading to complex discussions about identity, personhood, and divine grace. The Church's response to these debates reflects its commitment to a gospel that reaches all who seek it. While acknowledging the ethical and spiritual challenges posed by post-humanity, the Church emphasizes that God's love knows no boundaries. This inclusive stance encourages believers to view post-humans not as outsiders, but as individuals with the same potential for spiritual growth and transformation. By affirming the possibility of redemption for all, the Church reinforces the idea that Christ's love is boundless, capable of reaching anyone who desires a relationship with Him. At the same time, evangelizing post-humans presents practical challenges. Some modified Christians take on the mission to reach their post-human counterparts, bridging the gap between traditional and post-human communities. These modified believers serve as a testament to the adaptability of faith, showing that Christianity can thrive even in a technologically advanced society. Their presence offers hope, reminding the Church that the gospel can reach new communities, even those that challenge conventional ideas of humanity. The mission to evangelize a post-human society also highlights the resilience and adaptability of the Church. By engaging with post-humans, believers demonstrate a willingness to embrace diversity, acknowledging that God's kingdom is vast and inclusive. This openness challenges societal biases, encouraging Christians to reject discrimination and approach post-humans with love, compassion, and understanding. The Church's commitment to reaching all individuals, regardless of form or origin, stands as a testament to the power of faith and the enduring relevance of Christ's message. In the end, the Church's mission to evangelize in a post-human world reaffirms its role as a beacon of hope, love, and redemption. By expanding its reach and embracing new forms of humanity, the Church honors Christ's command to spread the gospel to all. This journey reminds Christians that the soul and salvation transcend biology, affirming that the gospel is as vital in a post-human world as it was in the beginning. As the Church contemplates its role in a world where the definition of human has been transformed, it reaffirms its commitment to Christ's universal message of love, redemption, and hope. The future may bring changes in form and function, but the gospel remains a constant, speaking to the deepest spiritual needs of all beings. For Christians, this exploration challenges long-held beliefs about humanity and divinity, inviting believers to reflect on the essence of the soul and the boundless reach of God's grace. In a society divided by physical and philosophical differences, the Church serves as a bridge, bringing unity through its unwavering dedication to love and compassion. This commitment reinforces the belief that all individuals, whether human or post-human, possess an inherent worth that transcends form. By embracing this inclusive perspective, Christians affirm that the message of Christ is not confined to biology, but speaks to the heart of existence itself. The mission to evangelize in a post-human world highlights the resilience of faith. By adapting to a new reality, the Church honors its calling to reach every soul, regardless of form or identity. This commitment to inclusion reflects the core of the gospel, a message of hope that transcends every boundary, reminding believers that the love of Christ is eternal, universal, and unbreakable.